So we've had a diesel Kia Sorento in for an MOT, failed on a few bits and pieces. One of the things that we're having trouble with is the emissions, getting the amount of smoke coming out of the exhaust down. We've changed the fuel filter, we've given it a long run, put some fuel treatment in to just try and clean all the injectors, the fuel side of it out. And as you can see from the emissions test, I'm going to hold that up to the camera, here we go. You can see up here the plate value is 0.8, which is quite low. And the average we've got it down to is 1.17. And we've tried pretty hard, we've done everything we can think of that's easy and quick and can't get it down. So I thought it was a good opportunity for me to show Revive. Now I've used this before on some of our other cars and I have noticed a performance gain. I've never done it and tested emissions, so this will be quite a good test to see whether it works, whether it doesn't work. If I unbox this now, I will show you what it is. So that's essentially just a bottle of brown liquid. So the way it works, there's 3 stages. We've got A, B and C, and spray it into the air intake with this nozzle. There's a pump on it, puts the whole system under pressure, and you spray it in 3 shots. The first two, I think the first one you do at 2,500 RPM, the second one is at 2,000 RPM. Then we switch the engine off, let it soak for a little while, do the last shot at idle, and then once the smoke's cleared we take it for a bit of a run, get it all nice and hot, and then what we'll do is we'll put it through another emissions test and we'll compare the results out of our emissions tester. Okay, so this is the car we're working on, 2004 Kia Sorento. Now the Revive needs to go in after the airflow meter. You don't want to damage any of the airflow meter. So we'll undo those here. There we go. So the instructions say we need to pump it 25 times. So that'll do. And then what we're going to do, because of access, we'll use it upside down. So we'll basically run it until we're down to that line there. And we need to run it at 2,500 RPM. So I'll go and get my pedal depressor and start the engine and we can begin the process. I'll put you over here because it's quite loud over there. The second process is another 25 pumps and then at 2,000 RPM. Right, so that's the second shot done, so we're basically now kind of up to that C line there. I think we've just passed it. So the next thing we need to do is wait for about 5 minutes. And then when I start it up again, I'll show you there's a lot of white smoke comes out the exhaust. That's what it's doing right now though, is it's sitting all in the intake and softening all of the dirt and crud in the air intake and then the turbo. When we start it up again, we do the last shot, again 25 strokes, another 2,000 RPM, let it idle for a little while, wait for the smoke to clear, and then we go for a test drive. And then what we'll do is we'll chuck it back on the emissions and show you the results. Right, it's been 5 minutes then, so we'll start her up, let it idle for about 10-15 seconds, and then we'll go in with it, we'll hold the revs up at 2,000 and do the next shot. car shot in, so I'll bring you around the back and I will show you the amount of smoke that comes out. If the camera can really see it. But basically we need to run it now till the smoke clears. And then yeah, then we'll take it for a bit of a run, about 20-minute drive, chuck it straight back on the emissions while it's hot, and hopefully we'll see a nice clean emissions test and we can put it through an MOT. So this was the original result after the original MOT, which is an average of 1.58. Then after a fuel filter, it did drop down a bit, average of 1.17. So this is all before we did the revive. After it, we passed it one go, average of 0.67. So almost halved the emissions result. So yeah, that shows that these revive bottles do work. They do make a difference on emissions, certainly on 2004 Kias. So I've used them in our old courtesy car, I've used them in my camper van, and it makes a noticeable performance difference and clearly affects emissions as well. Thank you for watching. Please do subscribe if you like our videos. Any suggestions for anything else like this you want us to trial, please do let us know in the comments, and yeah, I'm sure we can arrange another video.